Excuse me, do you know where the Museum of Modern Art is? Yes, you should go this street down and then there is a... and you should... you know what? I'm gonna just use Google Maps. Thank you. How do you give directions in English? Hello, my name is Maddie from POC English, and in this lesson we are going to learn how to ask for and give directions. First, I will teach you different types of streets. Then, we will learn prepositions of place to say where a building or a location is. After that, I will teach you how to ask for and give directions in English. And finally, I will show you a map, and then you will have to give me directions using the vocabulary and the language you have learned in this lesson. So make sure you watch this video to the end. Okay, let's start with different street types. What are the differences between avenues or roads or streets or lanes or ways or trails or maybe boulevards or highways? What are the differences? Let's start with number one, road. What's a road? A road is a way that connects two places so that people can walk or drive or ride easily. A road can be paved, maybe with asphalt, or even made of dirt or stones. So, road is a general term. Now, what is a street? A street is a public road inside a city with buildings on one side or on both sides. What is an avenue? A wide street is called an avenue. So a street is narrow and avenue is wide. What are lanes or ways? Well, lanes and ways are narrow streets within residential blocks. What is a boulevard? A boulevard is a wide and important street in a city with an island in the middle, which is usually filled with grass, flowers, or even trees. And finally, what's a highway? A highway is a very wide street with several lanes on each side, and cars usually go fast on the highways. Now, knowing different types of streets, it is time to learn the prepositions of place to say where a building or a location is. Look at this scheme I've made for you. There are 4 buildings, buildings A, B, C, and D, and there are 2 roads, first road and second road. Now, look at the first one. Where is building A? Building A is next to building B, or building A is across from building C. Now it's across from or it's opposite building C. Where is building A? Next to building B or across from, opposite building C. Now, where is B? B is between A and D. And where is D? D is next to B, right? But you can also say D is on the corner of 1st and 2nd Street. So the prepositions you can use are across from or opposite, next to, between, or on the corner of. Now, let's see how we can ask for direction from someone we have seen on the street. If you are not looking for a specific place, you can use this question. Is there a around here or near here? For example, is there a bank near here? Is there a supermarket around here? Is there a pet shop near here? However, if you are looking for a specific place, you can use this question. where is the... And then in the blank, you say the name of the place. For example, where is the Battery Park? Or where is the Rockefeller Center? You can also use this question. How can I get to... How can I get to St. Patrick's Cathedral? Or how can I get to public library? Now, who are you asking these questions to? Strangers on the street, right? So you might want to be very polite. In this case, you can start your questions with, can you tell me? Or do you know? However, when you use these phrases at the beginning of your questions, the question structure has to change. These are called indirect questions and are very polite. How can you make indirect questions? Let me show you. Look at this question. Where is the Rockefeller Center? I want to make it more polite, so I start with, do you know? When I start with do you know, I have to change something in the main question. But what? I have to change the place of my auxiliary verb and the subject of the question. What is the auxiliary here? Is. And what is the subject of the question? Rockefeller Center. So let's change the place. Do you know where the Rockefeller Center is? Now this is a very polite question. So you could either say, where is the Rockefeller Center? Or be more polite and say, do you know where the Rockefeller Center is? Let me show you another example. Look at the question. How can I get to public library? I can make it more polite by saying, can you tell me? But what should I do with the main question? Take the auxiliary verb and the subject of the question and then swap the location. What is the auxiliary? Can. And what is the subject? I. So you can say, can you tell me how I can get to public library? So you could either say, how can I get to public library? Or be more polite and say, can you tell me how I can get to public library? If you want to be even more polite, instead of can, you can say could. Could you tell me how I can get to public library? Now, listen guys, normal questions are just fine. But if you want to be more polite, you can use indirect questions. Now, let's learn how to give directions in English. Look at the first picture. Imagine you want to go from point A to point B. What can you say? You can say, go straight on, or go straight ahead. Or you can say, go along the road. So from point A to B, go straight on, go straight ahead, or go along the road. Look at this picture. If I want to go from A to B, what can I say? That's right. Turn left. Or from point A to C. Turn right. Turn left, turn right. Look at this picture. It's very interesting. How can you get from A to B? Turn left. Turn left at which one? The first one or second one? That's why instead of turn left, you say take the second left. So take the second left will get you to point B. What can I do if I want to get to point C? Take the second right. Take the second left, take the second right. Take the first left, take the first right. Or simply turn left, turn right. So if there are more than two intersections, you can use this phrase. Take the second, take the third, or take the fourth left. Take the second right. Look at this one. I want to say, go and reach point B, but don't stop and continue going. What can I say? Go straight on past B. It means go on, reach B, but don't stop. Continue going. Now, imagine B is a post office. I can say, go straight on past the post office. All right, now look at this one. What is this? This is a roundabout. A roundabout can have 4, 5, or 6 possible directions, okay? How can I say which direction to take? Well, the first thing I want to tell you is with the word roundabout, we use the preposition at. So we say at the roundabout. Okay, now imagine I want to get from point A to point B, or point A to point C, or point A to point D. What can I say? I can use this phrase. Take the exit at the roundabout. Now, instead of the blank part, we should say first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, or as many exits as there are. For example, if you want to go from A to B, you can say, take the first exit at the roundabout. From A to C, take the second exit at the roundabout. From A to D, take the third exit at the roundabout. There is also another way. I can say turn right at the roundabout, or turn left at the roundabout, or go straight on past the roundabout. So there are many different ways of giving directions. And finally, after arriving, you can say it is on your right, or it is on your left, or you can use the prepositions of place that we talked about earlier in this video. It's between A and B. It's between gas station and the library. It's on the corner of 1st and 2nd Street. And now, before we continue with the last part of this lesson, if you want to receive free PDF file of the lesson summary of this video and every other videos when I post one on YouTube, what you need to do is to give me your email address. How? Go to my website, pocenglish.com. The link is in the description below. Type in your email address and click subscribe. You will receive an email with the PDF file of the summary of the lesson every time I post a new lesson on YouTube. And that is entirely for free. Okay, now let's get to the last part of this video. I have a challenge for you. Look at this map. It's a map of a part of a city. And then you see there are lots of intersections, and there is also a roundabout. Now, imagine we want to start from point A on the map, which is my house or your house, and we want to get to the hospital, following the red path on the map. Excuse me, could you tell me how I can get to the hospital? So, what you need to do is to give me directions to the hospital. So start typing and let me know in the comments down below. See ya!